Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me. In today's episode, I want to share with you the chilling videos of the Parkland shooter, Nikolas Cruz. Walks into Subway, orders an icy slushy like it's nothing. We're talking about less than an hour after shooting up a school. And then minutes after getting his slushy, he casually walks into McDonald's, sits in a booth with a guy he doesn't really know, and just sits there just like that. And so we're going to be diving into that, but a quick little update about this Nikolas Cruz. So Nikolas Cruz, he was expelled from school for undisclosed disciplinary reasons a year before this shooting. He was also a former U.S. Army junior ROTC cadet. He confessed to police the afternoon of the shooting, and in the following weeks, online statements emerged that revealed he likely had been planning the attacks for months. He pleaded guilty in this crime in April of 2022. Right now, they don't know whether he's going to be life in prison or death penalty. So he goes into this school shooting and killing 17 people. Afterwards, gets a slushy, then goes into McDonald's and has a seat like it's nothing. Here is the moment that he's in Subway, and you can see right here where he's at the counter wanting to buy his slushy. And this is good video footage, clear. You can see him easily pointing at what he's wanting, not having a care in the world right now. And so here he is getting his icy slushy at the Subway sandwich shop shortly after he killed 17 people and injured more than a dozen others. And you can see he walks away sipping on that thing like it's nothing. That to me is so disturbing. On February 14, 2018 is when he committed this crime where he killed 14 students and 3 staff members. And this is considered one of the deadliest high school shootings in the nation's history. So to see him nonchalantly acting like there's nothing going on, because after the shooting, he dumped his AR-15 rifle and he managed to merge into the fleeing crowds at his former school before seeking out a frozen drink nearby at the Subway. The footage also shows that he was dumping his change into a tip jar and immediately starting to sip the beverage from a straw before exiting the store. And so while law enforcement was everywhere searching for him, he walks into a nearby McDonald's with his icy still in hand. And that's when he encounters student John Wilford, who he fled on his own from the school as shots rang out and ran to the McDonald's to wait for his mother to pick him up. And so let's watch John Wilford give a brief account on what the experience was like. And I'm going to break down the video a little for you.
John Wilford.
I'd like to call your attention, Mr. Wilford, to Wednesday, February the 14th, 2018. And were you attending school at that time?
Yes.
What school were you attending?
Marjory, Stoneman, Douglas.
And what year were you in?
9th grade.
Did you have any siblings that were attending Marjory, Stoneman, Douglas at that time?
Yes.
Who?
My sister, Maddie.
Madeline Wilford?
Madeline Wilford, yeah.
Okay. And she was attending Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School also, right?
Yes.
Okay. So on that day, tell us what happened.
I was in my study hall class, I believe it was 4th period, sitting down, and then I remember the fire alarm going off, and we evacuated towards the west side of campus, towards the baseball fields.
Okay, and when you went there, what you were responding because of fire drill?
Correct. We were just following standard procedure, so.
Okay, so what is the standard procedure? You go out into the area?
Right, we go out to the area, we line up, they take attendance, so I didn't think much of it.
Okay, so what happened then?
I remember it wasn't long, it was like a minute or two when they took attendance, and then a police car came and told us to evacuate.
Okay, how did you evacuate?
They took us off this road towards West Glades, which took us off this dirt road, and everybody was just walking over there.
So you walked down. Would you describe the path you took when the police told you to evacuate?
It was just along the baseball fields, along like towards the side of West Glades. Most of everybody was kind of panicked and didn't know what was going on.
Okay. So when you got to West Glades, where did you go from there?
From West Glades, I then walked to Walmart with one of my friends, Alan.
So you got out to Hamburg Road and
Correct, yeah.
and then turned west to Walmart?
And from West Glades, I took this path towards Walmart.
Okay. So what happened when you got to Walmart?
When I got to Walmart, I was trying to get a hold of my sister. She wasn't picking up, so I tried to get a hold of my mother, and that's when I then left my friend to go meet my mother at McDonald's. That's just the point I told us to meet at.
And did you go to McDonald's?
I did.
And that was at the McDonald's on Coral Ridge Drive?
Yes.
And describe what happened. How did you get there?
I just walked from Walmart, like underneath the sawgrass, towards McDonald's, and I told my mother I was waiting inside.
Okay. And so your mom was going to, what was she going to do?
She was going to come drive and pick me up.
So did you get McDonald's?
Yes, I got inside.
Okay, what happens when you go to McDonald's?
I sat down in a booth. I called her, I told her where I was, and she told me that she was on her way.
Okay. Then what happened?
And then Nikolas Cruz came and sat down right next to me.
All right. Did you know who he was?
No.
Ever meet him before?
Never.
Just sat down?
Just sat down next to me. I didn't think much of it because I was panicked. So I was just trying to get back home.
So what happened when he sat down?
He just sat down. I didn't think much of it. You know, he was just, I figured he was from school because of what he was wearing. But
what was he wearing?
ROTC uniform.
Okay. So what happened then?
From then, I wasn't really, I saw him sit down, so I just telling him, like, this is so chaotic. This is crazy. All these helicopters and SWAT cars coming. Like, what do you think this could be? And I don't remember him saying much, but he was just head down, wasn't really talking to me. I don't remember much of the conversation, but I was doing most of the talking.
Okay. Did he ask you anything?
No, not until I started to leave when my mother called me and told me that she was there.
Okay. What did he ask you?
He asked me for a ride when I was like starting to leave the McDonald's to meet my mother on the other side. That's when he started talking to me.
Okay. And what did you say?
He asked me for a ride. He was pretty insistent on it, and I said no. I wasn't really thinking much of it. I was just trying to get home. My sister wasn't answering her phone. I was nervous. I was panicked. I also had a bad gut feeling about it, because I'm a nice person. I would offer somebody a ride like that, but I just wasn't thinking in the moment.
Okay. And then what happened?
Then I got in the car with my mother, and I started to drive home.
Okay.
And then I remember seeing him again on, I don't know exactly what road it was, but I saw him walking.
Okay.
But then that was pretty much it.
And when your mom picked you up and drove you off, where did you and your mom go?
Back home.
Yeah, I know, but where's your home?
Wyndham Lakes.
Wyndham Lakes?
Area, yeah.
Okay. Have you seen a video from McDonald's with you?
Yes.
Nikolas Cruz is seen walking into the door right here. You can see at the bottom right corner, that's where John Wilford is sitting by himself in the booth. Here comes Nikolas Cruz casually walking down with a hat on, ROTC outfit, and a slushie. Just sits down. They don't know each other, right? John is wondering why this guy is sitting here. I've never seen him before, but at the same time, he's like, okay, he looks like a student, probably running away. But at the same time, John's the only one talking. Nikolas hasn't said much. John is just like this is crazy. What has gone on? I cannot believe it. He's shocked. Whereas Nikolas was acting pretty calm at the same time. And so they're just casually sitting there until John's mom gets close to getting him. See, as he starts to get up here, and then Nikolas Cruz follows him. Now, this is a different angle where you can see Nikolas Cruz walking by this part of the McDonald's camera right before sitting down with John. From this angle, you can see when John Wilford, the student who was sitting at McDonald's, comes in while waiting for his ride. And this is less than an hour after Cruz had committed the largest school shooting in U.S. history, and minutes after ordering a slushie from a Subway inside a Walmart next door. And so John is sitting down on the phone with his mom when Cruz just nonchalantly walks up and has a seat without even being requested to have a seat. And so they're just sitting there for a few minutes. After John gets off the phone, he's just sitting there, probably seeing what's going on out there, when all of a sudden, that's when Nikolas Cruz just casually comes over and just sits down, not knowing this guy and not really too sure what his thought process was at that same time, to be honest with you. So I thought that was pretty weird, but here he is sitting down, and this guy, John, puts his phone away, and he's just, he's in shock. So he's waiting for his mom. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where his sister's at. And so they're both just sitting there. Again, look at Cruz sipping on his Slurpee like it's nothing, after committing this heinous crime. And so here he is. They're just sitting there. And then that's when John gets up to leave to go meet his mom outside. And Nikolas Cruz follows him outside. And so Cruz follows John outside, and you can see the different angles where they're walking, leaving the McDonald's, and now they're going to be out in the sidewalk. There goes John waiting for his mom, and Nikolas Cruz tries to ask John for a ride, and John said no. He said normally, he's a nice guy. He just had a bad gut feeling about it. And so he would later learn that his sister was one of the students that had been shot by Nikolas Cruz. And you can see by this map here where McDonald's is. And this is when they're asking him to show where they're asking John to show exactly where they were. And so here you see McDonald's on the map. And then you're going to see how it's not too far from the school. See, not far at all. So he most likely walked over there. Well, there you have it, my friends. That is the chilling videos of the short moments within less than an hour after he shot up Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.